We are recording.
Welcome to episode 143 of The Kraken Pod, a podcast for Seattle Kraken fans, those new and old to hockey and hockey fans looking to have some fun. Along with you, we try to go into what lies beneath when it comes to everything Seattle Kraken and the NHL, and it has been a while. How you doing? The team is different. Who is gone? Who remains? You already know, but we'll recap the trade deadline, talk about that. We got to talk about the last couple of games because I thought some interesting things happened. What do you want to see the rest of the way for the Seattle Kraken with about 17 games remaining? And then let's talk about the cap. What are we going to do in the offseason? Plus our 3 stars of the week. Let's get to it. Episode 143 of the Kraken Pod. Let's go. What is up? How you doing? My name is Jeff Januzik. This is my friend and co-host,
Joey Cirillo.
How are you? We survived, man.
What's up, man?
Look
yeah.
at us.
Like,
look at us.
Let's look at us. Who would have thought? Not me.
Not me.
What's up, man? Mardi Gras was Mardi Gras. I survived that. It was brutal because I also worked through it, so I almost fucking died. I'm sure I didn't look at the 3 stars that you have written down. I'm sure Disney's a part of it.
Yeah.
Is there something you can share at the beginning to tease the end of the episode a little bit here?
Let's see.
I have something maybe a little goofy nuggets of you.
Goofy nuggets. I did. By the way,
fucked, dude.
You're
so fucked. I knew that would happen.
There's like 10 people
minimum. There's more than 10. There's more than 10, dude. Yeah.
I've been saving the tweets that mention goofy nuggets, and I thought I only had like 10. All right, I'll go back. I'll look.
I've been saving them too. I was like, I am not letting him off the hook.
Okay. All right. I will address the goofy nuggets, and if you know, I will figure that out. I will figure that out tomorrow. I will find out. Anyway, no, I do know there is one theme park that I'll never go back to ever again.
Oh, okay. Can that be the teaser for the 3 stars?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm pumped, man, because you and I haven't talked at all. As I will pull the curtain back a little bit here. Unless we're on the podcast, you and I never talk. I'm surprised we have this kind of chemistry, honestly.
It's true. We live completely different lives.
Yes.
You know, I live like 30 miles away from Joey. We don't really cross paths. We do text and stuff like that, but no, we don't really hang out. Different phase of life.
I wanted to put you in an awkward position to see what you would say. We obviously talk a lot more outside of the
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, I texted you one time and you're like, Joey, it's not Tuesday night. Stop fucking texting me. And I was like, Jesus, dude, sorry.
Dead to me unless it's Tuesday night.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm excited to hear about this. I thought you were gonna go full, Jeff Lasso on me, but apparently you had an experience that was so bad you vowed never to do it again. So that's awesome. And
what's your tease?
Mardi Gras things. I'll discuss that at the end for 3 stars of the week too.
Did you get blackout drunk at any point?
No, I did not.
Wow.
But I still had a good time.
All right. Well, let's get. I am actually excited about the Seattle Kraken. This sounds crazy. I'm actually excited about what's going on with the Seattle Kraken. I'm giving them a good thumbs up. Let's get to it. Here is your Kraken reaction. All right, so weird time for us because, again, Mardi Gras is late in the year this year, and it coincided with the trade deadline. So, I wasn't really thinking about the trade deadline that much because I was knee-deep in traveling with kids and all that sort of stuff, and we had Mardi Gras recovery. And then when it came, it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks when everything happened. And sad to see some guys go, but, really happy for them. And honestly, it's kind of like, like when you close a chapter on a relationship and it's like, you know what, that really was for the best. That's kind of how I feel. Like it's just for the best. I want those guys to have success where they went. I think the guys that I love all those dudes, they all went to good teams and I'm excited for them. And I'm excited for the future of the Seattle Kraken. I think the moves that needed to be made were made. So that's just like a quick, simple summary of what went down.
Can I say the moves really quick just to give it context? Because everyone knowing is like, I have no idea what happened. I've been, covering my ears and shutting my eyes until Jeff and Joey got back. Who are the Seattle Kraken? All right. So Yanni, Gourde, and Oliver Bjorkstrand get traded Tampa Bay Lightning In return, Seattle gets, by the way, 2 conditional first-round picks.
Pretty sweet.
A second-round pick to boot with that. And then Michael Esimont, which, by the way, not a bad player at all. We can go into how we feel about these trades here in a little bit. I just wanted to go through them really quickly. Brandon Tanev, aka Turbo, thank you for your service. OG Kraken since the expansion draft. He gets sent to Winnipeg. He is now a Pegger, and thousands of people on Twitter.
What a tweet! What a tweet! Just
discovered
epic.
On one day that we've been calling the Winnipeg Jets Peggers for 4 fucking years now, and we're not like up. People were having fun with it. No one was like up in arms. They're like, "Excuse me, a what?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, that has been the dumb joke for years." Anyways, I digress. Brandon Tanev goes to Winnipeg. In return, Seattle again, second round draft pick. And the last move kind of comes in here. The very last second is your boy. I know this is your favorite guy, Daniel Sprong, the ex-Seattle Kraken. You're just shaking your head. And who do you get sent to? I have it pulled up. The Devils. That's right. And I made a joke about being like, oh, him being a Devil is too on the nose. And get a 7th round pick in return. So, overall, the Seattle Kraken, they did what they needed to do. These were individuals. These were players on the team that you and I had heard rumblings about. You and I had talked about on the podcast as being candidates for trade, being shopped around. And I'm just, I don't know. There was some salary retained in the Bjorkstrand, Yanni Gourde trade. No salary retained in the Brandon Tanev trade. And Seattle Kraken, I'm pulling it up here, currently just short of $9.6 million in cap space, top 6 in the league currently at number 6. All right, so now that all the moves are out there, how do you feel about it overall? I know you kind of just gave a little bit of a synopsis, but just looking at it, how do you feel about it? And do you feel like in Ronnie we trust? Are you back on on that boat? What's going on?
I do, and I am. I feel that this was the moves that needed to be made, and they were predicted, and they did it. Bjorky, I was like, I didn't really expect him to go, but at the same time, I was not surprised that he went. And Yanni Gourde, love that dude. But we traded assets that we couldn't really use anymore or weren't really working for us anymore, but could work for other teams. Like Yanni went back to the Lightning, which is like perfect because they love him there. They love his leadership. Yeah. And we've got more than we would have gotten from any other team because of his history with the Lightning. And the Lightning are a good team right now, and they could really use him. So like we really got a lot from them because we traded Yanni to the right team and we sent Bjorkstrand. So like, I think it worked out great because they're not really working great for us. I do like both those players, but we got a lot in return. And then with Turbo, I'm glad Turbo's in another team. By the way, about a couple hours ago, the new Brandon Tanev headshot just dropped. If you can see
No way.
Yep.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So that's what
incredible.
I'm currently tweeting right now, retweeting that from the NHL. Turbo, what a beauty. Like, just love that dude. Just a great hockey player, great dude. Love it. I do miss him, but I think the vibes are really good for this team because they're making room for growth with young players. And I guess I'll bring this up now is I watched pretty much all of that Philadelphia Flyers game this past Saturday afternoon, which love. It's beautiful spring here in Louisiana. I set up the outdoor TV, so I sat outside, watched the game. It was just awesome.
Wow, awesome. Way to not fucking hit me up for that one. But I guess we weren't recording, so you didn't have a reason to.
That's true, exactly. Yeah. Awesome vibes. You're welcome to come over here anytime you want, man. So, but you just have to be hanging out with kids too.
Cool. I'll see you when we get done recording tonight, about an hour and a half from
now. Sweet. But
wife is like, why is he here?
Here's what I liked. This was the first game after the trade deadline, right? Mm-hmm. And something flipped in a certain player that I just saw like he had a talking to. I think this player was told, you are the future. We've been telling you this. Now you've got room to do your thing. Show us what you've got. And this can be your team. And Matty Beniers played like a man possessed in that Philadelphia Flyers game. Goal, assist, hits a post. He's scrapping. He was flying on that ice. Like the moves he was making, the stuff that he was doing, just like center ice, like just making plays. He was everywhere. Like he was fired up. Something happened to him. He was told something, or I don't know if they slipped something into his Gatorade, but the dude was on fire. And I saw the future of the Seattle Kraken right there. So I think that this team and what's left of them is feeling like not relieved. That's not the right word, but free. Okay. Some of the shackles are off. There's more room. Guys who want to be there, who are left, are now having the opportunity to prove that they belong, and they belong to have like a top 6 role or something. So I love the moves. I love all the trade deadline moves. I love the room that's been created. I love the storyline that's being created now. No playoffs. We are just doing some test runs of some young players. You know, Yanni Niemann's coming up from Coachella Valley. He's going to be making his NHL debut on Wednesday night. It's Tuesday, March 11th. So by the time you listen to this, it might be that against the Canadiens. So like, let's go. Let's enjoy the last, couple of weeks of the season and watch as the Seattle Kraken put some guys out on the test drive, and let's see who shows us who wants this team.
I love how the very first game that Bjorkstrand and Gourde, or Tampa Bay Lightning, Bjorkstrand scores the game-winning goal for Tampa Bay on an assist by Yanni Gourde. Like, just absolutely incredible. I am not one of those sports fans where if a guy gets traded and they're on good terms with the team, I'm still like, fuck you, and cut them off. I'm going to root for them. This might be different for me if the Seattle Kraken were a playoff contender. We are not. The Kraken this year have been dog shit. And we've done this every year. We've had the podcast. I need a team to hitch my wagon to for the playoffs because it makes the viewing experience that much better. My wagon's already on Tampa Bay. I'm telling you right now. How the fuck can I not root for our two guys? And also for Yanni to go back, like you said, to his former team. They love him there, his leadership. The city loves him, the whole deal. That's what I'm hitching my wagon to. The turbo headshot, all that stuff is great. Daniel Sprong, hey man, it is what it is.
Oh, I forgot. Daniel Sprong, peace. See ya.
Yeah,
goodbye.
Whatever, man.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
I don't feel that negatively about him, but I get why folks do.
Absolute bum.
To wrap it all up in a bow, I will say that I agree. I do feel like this team feels more free. Overall, I was very, very happy with the results of the trade deadline with this Seattle Kraken, because two things happened that kind of at the same time that kind of came together and gave the Kraken the perfect storm. One, this was a shit year and the Kraken were going to be sellers. And two, the market across the league immediately was a seller's market. And every fucking player, for the most part, that was out there we're getting serious fucking returns back to the team that was willing to, to get rid of a key piece to go somewhere else, to a contender. With that in mind, I am actually shocked more Seattle Kraken didn't get traded. I legitimately thought Jamie Alexiak was gone. I'm surprised he's not. I don't know. There's a couple of other people, even like Jaden Schwartz. Like there was just guys out there where I don't know. The return was so high this year. I was like, holy shit, man! If Ronnie's going to strike now, for future capital and all that, now is the time to strike. And I still feel like he did a good job of striking while the iron is hot. I give him credit for that. I actually pulled up ESPN did grades for every single team across the NHL for the trade deadline.
Okay.
And they gave the Seattle Kraken an A-. They're like, yeah, they crushed it. Like, this team's not making playoffs. They took advantage of a seller's market, and that's exactly what happened. So overall, I'm pumped for it, man. Of course, I'm going to miss having those guys on the team, but a change needed to be made. And you and I talked about this for a while now, that the Band-Aid was ripped off when they sent Gourde down to Coachella Valley. Like, they were like, okay, we have a very clear understanding of where this team is. The fan base has an understanding of where this team is, and some shit's got to change. Well, and some shit changed very quickly. And the last note I will make is on Oliver Bjorkstrand. First and foremost, you and I have talked about him in the past and about being involved in trade rumors. And I'm sure you'll probably want to say something on this too. To clear things up, at no point was Oliver Bjorkstrand like, get me the fuck out of Seattle.
No.
But he has known for a while that his name was being floated out there to other teams, and he very much loved the city of Seattle. He was the only guy that was traded that was not an unrestricted free agent, which signaled to me that Ron Francis and the Seattle Kraken organization were more than okay with shipping off other key pieces of this organization if the return was right. So that's the last note I had. Did you have anything else to say on Bjorkstrand or anything?
No, I like that guy. I liked him. I soured on him a little while this season, but like, his heart was here in Seattle, and I'm rooting for him too. I do like that. Like, the Tampa Bay Lightning is a team that I could throw my support, into, and they're making
they both
playoffs.
went to Colorado.
No, absolutely not. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Pittsburgh.
Couldn't do it. They went to the perfect team, because I've never hated the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm all about it. I don't know. Once playoffs get closer, then I'll start thinking about who I'm rooting for.
I'm going to pick more than one. Dallas, that could be a fun wagon. Holy shit, dude.
I know. Have you followed the Mikko Rantanen drama? Oh my God.
No, I haven't. I mean, there's a couple of our old producer Brandon. He's a Carolina fan, and that guy is screaming from the mountaintops about Rantanen for forever now. So a lot of my stuff I get through him and him sharing and him tweeting. So shout out to Brandon.
Well, like, a lot of drama with the trade deadline and what's going on in the NHL. Love to see Alex Ovechkin steamrolling towards this record, which is fantastic for hockey. I really think that I think there's a conspiracy theory there with Ovechkin, and
okay.
I feel like Gary Bettman's like, we've got so much momentum from the 4 nations face off. We let Ovi score 2 tonight, and he's sending commands down from Toronto, and they're just letting him score, and just making sure that he gets this record. He has to have this record. So the National Hockey League will have the highest rating ever for a season this season. Watch that be the truth, because they are capitalizing on these storylines. People are sour on the NBA right now. I kind of feel like, baseball hasn't started yet. So it's like, it's hockey's time. I'm telling you, there's something there. But the Mikko Rantanen stuff is crazy, because, he went from the Hurricanes fumbled this thing so poorly because they bring him to Carolina. And the rumor is now, apparently, that he never wanted to be there, absolutely hated it there, and wanted the hell out of there. That's why they traded him to Dallas. And then quickly, Dallas signs him to an 8-year big-time contract.
Instantly. And which, by the way, no team was going to sign him unless they had those negotiations in advance, because he was an upcoming, free agent. So that was a move that a team needed to be made. So I thought for a while, before all the stuff started getting leaked out, that he was going to stay in Carolina. Well, no, turns out actually he got the fuck out of town. And Dallas quickly turned that into a contract. I was like, oh, okay, well, that just happened.
So what wild scenario, and like, everybody in Carolina is now like, what the hell just happened? Like, we just got fleeced. Anyway, so like, that's been interesting to watch. So
Marchand to Florida, how do you feel? Quick thoughts.
I mean, I love it. I love to see Boston in chaos. I love them feeling all messed up. I think that I don't know. I kind of dig it. I kind of dig it down in Florida. They needed something. Like I think that team needs some grit. The dude, for as much as he can be hated across the league, he's a rock star. He does the job. He makes the thing happen. He scores the timely goal. He's a playoff performer. He's the rat. He's an antagonist. He's just awesome. And the Panthers need a little something too, because Aaron Ekblad, he just got suspended. They're like stud defenseman because of the PED or whatever he was snorting or drinking or whatever it was. He had too many Diet Cokes, and now he has to sit on the bench for 20 games. So like they need
basically until playoffs.
Yeah, now they need they need a little juice, and I think Marchand's going to give it to him, and I think it's great. I love chaotic stuff like that at trade deadline. Did not see that coming, but again, the Bruins. Like I'm in a good place with like all the other teams in the NHL. Like, the Red Wings are struggling. They did not make many moves. Steve Yzerman once again signs a goalie that nobody really understands why he's back. I love Mrazek, but I don't know why he's back. Anyway, long story short is, will they make playoffs? Will they not? They fumbled last night. They should have beat the Senators. They did. So I say all this because I love the chaos, and I honestly felt like this trade deadline season was one of my favorites of all time because the Kraken, I think, did really well. And a lot of other teams had all this crazy drama that I just love to sit there and eat the popcorn and watch and listen and see it happen. And there's a lot of great storylines going into the playoffs. So, I know this all started with Oliver Bjorkstrand, but I'm super happy with where we're at and where we're going and what's happening. And I'm happy with all the moves. I was actually at peace with anybody and everybody leaving the Seattle Kraken. I was ready for that.
Yeah, no, we have braced ourselves for a while. And again, it's not even reading tea leaves. You and I are openly discussing who the Seattle Kraken are actively, receiving phone calls on. Last question for you, since you love this trade deadline so much. Steve Yzerman, do you like it?
I mean, nothing much happened. I mean, like he signed a little, like a role player, and they signed an extra goaltender who's aging, former Red Wing too. And, I think what he's saying is like, he's happy with where they're at right now, and he's taking his chances. Maybe they make playoffs. Maybe they don't, but he's committed to the plan, So Steve Yzerman,
why the Detroit fan base complete fucking meltdown? As an outsider looking at it, I'm going, what's everyone freaking out over?
Because typically at a trade deadline, the Seattle Kraken, the Detroit Red Wings, I forgot, this is the Detroit Red Wings podcast.
Yes. Yeah, you're wearing a red shirt. I tried to balance it out with some Seattle Kraken deep blue here. And you said nay.
Pink and blue. I got the Kraken blue in there.
This looks a little red. We're gonna throw this up on YouTube. People can weigh in.
It is pink. This is my version of the black and blue dress, or the gold and white dress.
I think it might just be colorblind, Jeff.
No, it's pink and blue. Right. Pink and blue. This is terrible lighting in this room.
Thought I got a new laptop. What do I know?
Here's Steve Yzerman is confident in the Yzer plan. He's sticking to it. He didn't make too much. He's happy with where they are. And I got to say is, at times this season, the Detroit Red Wings looked amazing. Dylan Larkin, I think is fantastic stud. They've got a lot of players in that team that are really great. I don't know what their cap situation looks like. I don't know what they're going to do in the offseason, but overall, I'm happy with what's going on there. I'd like to see them in the playoffs, because I really would like to have a team that I'm passionate about in the playoffs that I can actually root for and get into. But that's really it. So, I'm happy with it. And I think that Detroit Red Wings fans typically are used to a big move happening. Nothing happens. And Red Wings fans are absolutely dying to be in the playoffs. And I forgot who tweeted it, but I saw a tweet the other day that was like, I grew up in just the most amazing Detroit Red Wings time, because every single year the Red Wings were reloading at the trade deadline for another playoff run that either resulted in like a conference final or Stanley Cup final or a Stanley Cup. And like, that is exactly how I grew up. And like, I mean, my whole adult life up until 10 years ago or whatever it was, the Red Wings were just doing that time after time after time. So we're trained as Detroit Red Wings fans. It's like, oh, trade deadline's coming. We're going to retool and refire up the team. Well, that hasn't happened in a long time, because we're just building. And ideally we have another long run of competitive teams. So that's why people are freaking out. They're used to the old times, and they don't have it right now. So
okay, fair.
All right. So looking ahead. I think Matty Beniers showed me just in that one game something awesome. Shane Wright's on fire.
I didn't want to shit on your Matty Beniers because I do agree. I do think, and he did this last year too. And I made a joke about it where I was like, I call him like too late Beniers or something because I thought he really turned it on towards the end of the season. And I was like, oh, now that nothing matters, you're gonna fucking look awesome. But anyways, love Matty. The only thing I was going to say, and again, not to shit on your parade, was I agree with you in that game. Looked awesome. Slight little caveat. Philadelphia is also a dog shit team.
Oh, I said to my son, because he was watching with me, because he's like so into hockey right now. I think
we're like right beneath them. Like they're like barely above us.
No, they're terrible. The Flyers are really bad.
So, just me being a realist, you know how I am.
But, it's a good point. But to your point is he was, I think, the best player on the ice for both teams. And I have seen Matty Beniers disappear into the ether.
Oh, we've seen him do 1, 2, 3 Cancun real early. So I agree. I did think he was the best player on the ice that day.
Yeah, and it was awesome to see. And I really saw something there, which made me go like, look, the talent is there. How does he turn this thing on? And how does he make this thing happen all the time? So that's, what I'm pumped about. Now, what do we do with the, Gru? What do we do with Gru? What do we do?
He's gone. He's gone this offseason.
I don't know if he's going to be gone. Do you think he's going to be gone?
We'll buy him out.
And then do what?
Get another option that's cheaper. Like, he was the 1A. Joey DeCourter's our 1A.
Oh,
they're going to get a 1B in there, and they're going to get a 1B. It's a lot cheaper. Like, I'll put my stamp on it right now. I would be shocked if the Seattle Kraken kept around Philip Grubauer because again, they are in the process of ripping the Band-Aid off and really, really committing to the future. The only way that you can do that is by thinking about the future consistently. You cannot have this bad contract on your books for years and years to come. It might be painful as hell, but the rational decision would be for the Seattle Kraken to buy out his contract and let him walk. I mean, is it what I want? Honestly, yeah. I'll be honest. It is. Because I don't really think with emotion, man. I'm a rational person. For me, this makes the most sense for the organization moving forward. It will fucking hurt, but they need to do it, and that's what I believe is going to happen.
So, what Joey's saying, and I just looked this up because I just wanted to make sure because I don't really necessarily know the ins and outs of a buyout.
Yeah,
is players 26 and older.
Yeah.
If you're buying out a player, the team pays 2/3 of the player's remaining contract value.
Yeah.
So let's go look at what is the remaining contract value.
We actually had an episode, I want to say like 2 episodes back, where we went over exactly what they would have to pay out Philip Grubauer. And I think it's like the 30 years actually like at the most. I don't remember exactly what it was. It's not a pretty number. You're not going to look at it and be like, oh, awesome. It's like the salary. It's like the annual average value equivalent of like a solid second liner. Like it's not good.
It is not. So he makes $5.9 million a year, which hurts to say. I do love Gru. I love his personality, but he's just tough.
Yeah. By the way, came back and played really well, but it's a bad contract. I can argue it's the worst contract in the league.
Okay, so
we're in a position now where we're moving forward, right? Like the organization is doing what we need to do to free up cap space and get capital and bring in people that will help us win. His contract does the opposite of that.
So we, after the season, will owe him $11.8 million.
I want to get paid that money to not work. I want us to be so good that we're bad. You know what I'm saying?
Now we pay 2/3 of that. So that's roughly $7.8 million.
Yeah, I think it's spread out over what, 3 years?
I don't know. That's why I think you know more about this stuff than I do. So that's what I was wondering.
I had the stats for a previous episode we talked about this on. We can double check afterwards. I wasn't prepared to talk about it, but yeah.
Okay. So like that's what I just didn't know was like, how do we pay that? Do we pay that in one lump sum? Do we give him like a check and say, get the fuck out?
I think it has to be on a yearly basis, right? You got to kind of like phase them out. I could be wrong, but I believe I recall reading that. What do you think is going to happen, by the way? Do you have any future predictions of what the organization is going to do?
I'm just going to go opposite you, just to be opposite you. I do kind of think that I don't know if they buy him out because, they are money conscious. So maybe they just like sit him on the bench and Joey's just, he is our top guy. And they just have him back there as the backup, a really highly paid backup. And then that's it. And they just let him kind of sit, because like, here's the thing is basically, I don't know where he's going to go, but like he's going to get paid a ton of money to be released from the team. Like who's going to sign him? Like who's going to pay him anything? You know what I mean?
But that's also like not his concern. And that's why it would have to be a buyout, because also the rest of the league, unless some team gets really fucking stupid, which that would be, knock on wood, that'd be a great scenario. But the rest of the league is not dumb. They know that this situation is either keeping him on your books or letting him walk. No one's going to come to the Seattle Kraken and offer any kind of a trade for Philip Grubauer. It's just not happening. The contract is too fucking bad. And they don't want to take that on. So I just, and because NHL teams know that, if they wanted him for whatever reason, they would wait until the Kraken bought him out and then bring him on for pennies on the dollar. It's a win-win for them.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. So,
yeah,
I mean, I could totally see that happening, but I could also, I don't know what to expect with that. But, at the end of the day, that's one position that I feel comfortable and confident in, is that Joey Decourde is our goalie of the future. And he's still got a long way to develop too. And he's already pretty damn awesome. Although I do think that the Seattle Kraken fumbled the bobblehead, Joey Decourde bobblehead, when they literally debuted the bobblehead in a video on social media as they are handing it to a shirtless in the locker room, shirtless Joey Decourde, which they know, rock. But look, the Seattle Kraken admin think they do an awesome job, but they also know fish in a barrel, yeeting salmon in a barrel is, I think every other day there's a shirtless Joey picture. Like, why wasn't that bobblehead shirtless? They have to have like a Bizarro Universe alternate bobblehead with the shirtless.
I agree.
Joey. Like that would be one of the.
We should make our own. We should contact like a bobblehead making company and just make our own. Like, this is exclusive. There's only 2 in the world. I guarantee to be crazy Kraken fans. Like, I will pay you thousands of dollars.
All right. No, here's what we need. We need Joey. We need one actual bobblehead, a Joey Decourde bobblehead, and then we have to like find an artist or somebody to paint the shirtlessness onto the existing bobblehead.
Got it. I'll do it. I'll do it a couple Trulies in. Honestly, I'm working on it right now.
If we were good enough at editing to take this clip and use this at the beginning of the podcast, that's the exact same. That moment right there, your joke, punchline, totally awesome.
No context, right into the episode. Okay, I have to ask you, I think we've covered everything regarding the trade deadline, what's going on with the team. This is the big question. I purposefully saved it for last. And everyone that's listening, which you found out, guess what, Jeff? They're fucking listening. Everyone that's listening, we need to know, including myself, who is your way too early, I love this free agent, he needs to be a Kraken guy? Because I know you have some. Don't act like you don't. I can see it on your fucking face.
Dude, it'll never happen. But who's the biggest free agent that everybody's talking about?
You tell me. I haven't looked on purpose because I'm like, I know for a fact that Jeff is looking at upcoming free agents and he's like, Kraken. Dude, this guy's a Kraken.
I did. And I don't think, and you don't know, but you listening, you might know the number one free agent out there who's having a year is Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner from the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the Maple Leafs, like, if there's anybody on the Maple Leafs roster that's a love-hate, like, William Nylander can like sit out for a month and they'll be like, oh, that's cool. It's all right. It's okay. But like Mitch Marner, like takes one shift off and like, he's dead to me. and And then
as someone who's still newish to hockey, do you know any backstory behind that? By the way, first off, great Canadian impersonation. Second off, like, oh yeah, that's okay, great. But like, second off, do you know any of the backstory about why there's like that weird tension between the Toronto fan base and Mitch Marner?
It is the Toronto Maple Leafs' lack of playoff success and literally spinning the roulette wheel of who to blame. And also too, was it last season when the Maple Leafs imploded again that everybody was looking at Marner because like there was the moment, it was either last season or the season before that, where like William Nylander was basically telling Mitch Marner to stop crying like a baby or something like that on the bench because Marner was just like a ghost in the playoffs. It's like
awesome. I can't wait for him to maybe come to Seattle.
but that's the thing is like, it's not like, but he doesn't disappear in the regular season. And guess what, Joey? Seattle Kraken fans and the Seattle Kraken, I hope one day we're crying over bad performances in the playoffs year after year after year.
I was going to say, I would love to be in a position where I am upset about a player disappearing in the playoffs. I can't get these guys to stop thinking about Cancun in fucking October. Like, and so it's like, we got some work to do.
So I think I would take Mitch Marner in a second. Now I think it's way out of our price range. He's going to get a ton of money because he's like one of the best.
How old is he?
Mitch Marner, I just looked it up. He's 27 years old.
Oh shit. He's prime of his career.
Prime of his career. This dude is like crazy awesome. He is a 100-point player every single year. This dude's just fantastic. Like he's turned into, like, I wouldn't say 100-point player every year, but like he's on a team of very talented players. And like in 2021, 22, so like from 21-22 season, 97 points, 99 points, 85 points. He's got 80 points right now and now, of course, this is his contract year. So he's on fire and he's going to end this year easily at 100+ points. So he's making the case, hey, sign me. This dude's going to get like, 12, 13 a year. Like he's worth a lot. So like I have thought about that. As far as other free agents out there, there's nobody super exciting to me other than that dude. And I just don't think, first of all, here's the only way we get Mitch Marner is like, I think the Kraken could afford it. They have to make some moves. They could afford
Ronnie's going to kick the tires on this, by the way, because as a general man, that is his job. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying because there's interest. I'm not assuming that. As his job as general manager, you just have those conversations just to have the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think that he's currently right now making like 11 million. He's going to get 12, 13. Here's the possible and not possible is I think it's possible to where maybe he wants to leave a market like Toronto, which is a pressure cooker, for a team that will pay him what he's worth. Okay. Where there's not a ton of pressure, right? It's still an American market. It's still a bigger market, and he can play and do whatever he needs to do on a team. And like, hey, they make playoffs and he's a savior. Whereas like in Toronto, if they don't win a Stanley Cup, then he is a piece of shit and everybody hates him.
Yeah.
So like the upside is he could come to Seattle or any other team that's not Toronto and be a hero. He'd be the number one stud. He's not overshadowed by William Nylander or Austin Matthews. And that could be something, but it's
I'm just here for the dismantling of the Toronto Maple Leafs, the continued dismantling.
I honestly think that the Leafs will re-sign him. I think he resigns there. And I think the Leafs could have something happen this year in the playoffs.
It's not happening.
It does. The vibes feel like they're like aligned for that.
It's not happening.
I think he stays in Toronto, but after that, like there's nobody super exciting out there. You know what I mean?
I have to say one thing because I do agree with you. I actually did look at the free agents. I need to get your input. I'm like, I know Jeff, this is his fucking wheelhouse. I have to say something. because I've had this thought, and there's been a lot of talk I've already seen around this topic within just Seattle Kraken fandom in general. If you're listening to this and you're thinking, man, I hope this Seattle Kraken don't overpay for a free agent, brace yourself. Odds are the Seattle Kraken are going to overpay for a free agent. And this is not Ronnie Francis unable to use the calculator on his iPhone. This is because this is just what Seattle teams have had to do. Like, it is what it fucking is, man. Like, it's just part of being a Seattle sports fan. That's all I'm going to say about that. I've had a massive rant on this in the past. And honestly, since I was a kid, have grown to accept this in circumstances where it's like a Brandon Montour. I will lose my shit, my collective sports shit, if we give out any more Chandler Stevenson contracts. I'm happy for what he's doing. I've grown to like Chandler Stevenson. Apples are filthy. Occasional goal, all around good guy on your team. Talk to me in fucking 5 years. It's too much, man. And for a team that's building for the future, I get why you want to bring in these key pieces, but you're going to fuck your franchise over if you keep giving out these bad Chandler Stevenson contracts, and 3, 4, 5 years down the road, if you haven't won a cup or you're not really competitive, and all of a sudden these guys are in like their, like the twilight, years of their career, and they're getting paid buku cash and no one wants to take them off your hands, you're back to being fucked for different reasons. So I'm giving people, Seattle sports fans, a pre-warning on this, because odds are it's most likely going to happen.
Here's a couple. I want the Seattle Kraken to sign. I mean, like, there's Mitch Marner, which is like, top 15 player in the league. That's huge. Okay. Will they do that? I don't think so. I want to see the Kraken sign a player that fits a good role on the team, that's really good at something. Like Brad Marchand is, and he's not coming to Seattle. I don't think that would ever happen, but
no,
like he's the type of player that's got like a character, an aura, about him. I want somebody like that. Here's a player that I don't want, that I kind of see as another like Bjorky experiment, right? Or Berkey experiment.
Yeah, by the way, no more of those. And also, by the way, Capo Caco is going to be a Kraken long term. Ronnie Francis did confirm that. Thank God.
And yes, and watching him with Matty Beniers on the ice, like he's Capo Caco is amazing.
Insane chemistry. That's a lock. Yeah.
But here's a player that I could, if the Kraken sign this guy, I think we're in the same old crazy cycle of like we just keep repeating history and keep doing the same bad thing over and over again. And that would be Nikolai Ehlers from the Winnipeg Jets. He's a pegger. And he's a $6 million a year forward. He right now is on a point per game pace.
Okay.
But he typically averages around like 60 points a year, like 50, 60.
Okay. Middle of the pack, consistent. You know exactly what you're getting, kind of a guy.
Kind of, yes. But like, 2 seasons ago, he only had 38 points, but he was injured. He only played in 45 games. So like, but here's the thing is like, he's a role player guy on the Jets. I fear you sign him and you are going to have another player that's like a good player, but not great in something that they really need.
Yeah. They're not going to take the team in the direction that ultimately we need to go. There's no getting over the hump, right?
Yeah. So I think that's what I want to see in the offseason is if we sign anybody, I want it to make an impact dramatically in some part of the game. Not just like, oh, the potential's there for a breakout season or somebody to do something great like Nikolai Ehlers. I want to see like the best face-off guy in the league, or a guy who's going to throw a nasty hit, like who's known for that. That's the kind of signing I want. Or like crazy, no way I don't know what I'll do if they sign Mitch Marner, or you go for like something crazy like that, or you pull something off.
I agree. Last thing I'll say really quickly is I do agree with you. I really want someone to come in that not only has a personality, but is a physical fucking presence and can establish an identity in Seattle of a team you do not fuck with. Like a Tom Wilson in Washington. I mean, like, look at the fucking hit. He laid, he laid on Everly.
And
but
props
listen,
to the Kraken.
love him or hate him, which most people listening probably hate him. I fucking love him. The reason why is because I know for a fact that if he were on my team, I would be head over heels in love with him. So anyways, that's all I will say about that. And if those moves are not there in the offseason, I hope we wait. I hope we make no moves. Don't force anything. That capital, that cap space isn't going to go anywhere. And we'll just wait to fucking pounce. And when we do, let's strike and let's make the right fucking moves.
Exactly. I think that's where we're at. I think that's where they're at. By the way, size-wise, this Yanni Neiman dude who's going to play against the Canadiens, he's like 6'6" and like 220 pounds. This guy's huge.
Shit. Yeah,
he's a huge forward. So like, I don't have any money left for DraftKings, but I would totally put a bet for him to score a goal or get a point in that game. And speaking of DraftKings, two things, dude. It looks like I'm going to hit on that flub.
I can't I was thinking about that the other day.
Connor Hellebuck. Like that bet.
Can you quickly say what happened again, really, so people have context for it? Because it's insane.
I was having some drinks on the award ceremony night, and like it was like I don't know, like 20 minutes before they announced the Vezina Trophy, and I saw on DraftKings that like the odds for him to win the Vezina Trophy all of a sudden blew up to like plus 2,400. I was like, holy shit, this is money in the bank. Oh my God, I'm putting down $250 or whatever it was. And I did it. And I was like, I took a screenshot and I was about ready to text Joe. He's like, Joe, you got to jump on this.
No, you did text me. I freaked out because I couldn't figure it out. And I'm like, Jeff, I don't know how to do it. They're announcing the award soon. Like, I'm so stupid. I'm like, dude, I don't see the bet.
And so then like I sent it to Joey and I was like, oh, you got to do it. And then I like literally 30 seconds later, I look at the text to Joey and I was like, oh shit, that was for the 24-25 season. No. I was like, there's no way he repeats as the Vezina Trophy winner. Well, dude, like I just fumbled my way into that because I'm going to cash in on like a $2,700 payday for that.
Unbelievable, dude.
Unbelievable. So I just got to tell you, dreams are made with DraftKings Sportsbook app. I'm just telling you, you too can make a drunk bet and score plus 2,400. So just get drunk and just no, this is the absolute worst thing you should do. Not do this. But here's what you should do with DraftKings Sportsbook is tons of great sports going on right now. You got hockey, golf is starting to hit too, man. I'm so ready for the Masters, all that cool stuff that's going on. I love golf. Tiger's out. Oh my God. He blew his Achilles.
I know. I can't believe the guy's still golfing so much he blew out his Achilles. I'm like, Tiger.
No, he's just falling apart. He's not golfing.
Yeah, I was like, dude, your body's falling apart. You need to fucking chill out.
I know. Go. Rest in peace, Tiger. Rest in peace, buddy. You've done it all. You're great for the game. You had
too many back shots, as the kids say, with fucking Chili's waitresses in Australia.
Damn.
Just blowing his own knees out. Like, dude, you need to chill. Like, go home.
DraftKings Sportsbook. Do not bet on Tiger in the tournament this weekend. Do not do that. But here's the deal. DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app. If you're a first-timer on DraftKings Sportsbook, download the app. New customers can bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code THPN for the Hockey Podcast Network. We're proud members of it. That's code THPN for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. And then see all the show notes for details and all that good stuff. But DraftKings Sportsbook, absolutely love it. I'm ready to cash in on that. So
I can't believe you're going to cash in. That is the most Jeff move of all time, is to fuck up because you get so excited. And then you do something, and then for basically 90% of the time, you are just feeling like, I can't believe I did this. I'm so fucking stupid. And at the very last second, it's like, actually, you won.
Dude, I literally, I can't. Here's the thing about like anything betting or like crypto stuff or any of that. I love that stuff. I love all those things, taking chances. I love that gambling, but I don't gamble an excessive amount. But like I gambled and I have just enough wins to be like, yeah. Like I'm just gonna keep going. So like I'm not sitting over here like losing like thousands of dollars and betting this or something, but like over time, like I'm like, okay, I'm like down like $30-$40. And that's just consistently and I win enough to like be like, yeah, this is cool and fun.
To fill the pot back up to keep going back at it. I get it, man. I'm the same way.
Yeah, so I'm not terribly dramatic, although maybe the crypto thing's a problem. Possibly. I'm not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, don't say it out loud anymore.
Yeah.
Because people in the house start a fight.
Oh my God, I know, right? Anyway, all right, so let's get to our 3 stars of the week. It's where Joey and I rank stuff that's been going on in our personal lives, and our personal lives kind of taken over the past 10 days or so of so many things happening here. So Joey, what's your 3rd star of the week?
I just I alluded to this earlier, and it's just Mardi Gras recap, man. It was an exhausting one. It was one that I ended up working through, which I've only done one other time in my 10 years in being in New Orleans. And let me tell you what, Jeff, I do not recommend that for anyone because it was fucking brutal. While everyone, was recovering and sleeping in and lounging around the house and getting ready to go to night parades, I was at my office 9 to fucking 5, getting home, rushing out the door, going to parades, going out, waking up early, doing it again. It took a fucking toll on me. I was completely wiped out. I had like a 3-day just tired hangover where I was completely exhausted. But I will say that my highlight this year, and this will not mean much to anyone listening, but Toth Sunday, which I've taught. Toth is a parade, goes into Bacchus. Bacchus another parade. Might be the best day. Like the day parades are great because all the families are out. The weather's usually awesome. The weather was awesome this year on Toth Sunday. Wasn't supposed to be. It was hot. And long story short, I got invited to a crawfish boil, 150 pounds. And my buddy's house that he was boiling out turns out on this street called Chapatula Street. And his house is on the route. So I'm standing with a fucking table literally in front of me on the sidewalk, standing at the table facing the floats. So I'm like eating crawfish, looking up, catching beads. Crawfish, dude, I've never had a better setup like that ever. I'm already excited to go back next year for Toth, but my Mardi Gras was awesome. What's your 3rd star?
I was going to say is like, I saw the video that you put
out.
Yeah.
I was like, just another day. Like you look at from crawfish and there's a fucking float right there. Like, holy shit.
As somebody who went out of town for Mardi Gras, I was very jealous of those 2 days because the weather was perfect, and that's the best weekend for Mardi Gras.
It wasn't supposed to be. We got very lucky last minute.
Very lucky. My 3rd star is actually the amusement park that I'm never going to go back to again.
Okay.
Universal Studios, Florida.
Wow.
We drove to Disney, and then we stayed at the resort. Like the first day, we just drove in and stayed over, and went the next day. We went to Universal Studios. We drove like 10 minutes away. And look, it was fine, but it's like it's an more adult theme park.
Yeah.
Which is great. But as somebody who grew up going on roller coasters, is like, I'm cranky old man now because number one is I don't think these roller coasters were as smooth as they were back in the day. I don't know what it is. Have you been to Universal Studios?
No, man.
When the first ride we go on, first of all, by the way, it's really expensive. It's actually way more expensive than Disney.
Well, that's a big reason why I haven't gone, because I'm like, go to Italy or go ride roller coasters, and not having a family, I'm like, peace the fuck out. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, and I don't want to get into this, but like people who go spend their money like as adults without kids to go to Disney, like
it bothers me.
I love Disney, but you can only I love it. It's awesome, but you can only justify going there. First of all, so many times, but also too, like you can only justify going there like with the kids. It's just awesome to spend it with the kids, and of course, my wife and I have a good time as adults as well with the kids, and we love it, and it is to us worth the money. But yes, you are exactly right. Now, Universal Studios, dude, I'm gonna tell you is First of all, the way this goes is, when I was a kid, like I used to wait, and like fast passes and express lanes weren't a thing.
Yes.
And like we would go to Cedar Point, huge roller coaster park, one of the best in the world, and we'd have to wait in line for like an hour and a half, and like that was just part of what you did. Not going to do that with kids, so of course you got to buy the
fast pass,
and we did. So it was like $1,000 to go as a family of 5, and then we got there. We're like, we can't. We thought maybe we can tough this out. No freaking way. We had to buy the express pass, and
seriously,
it was worth it. But that cost another $1,000 for our family.
Oh, that's how they get, dude. They are raking in cash.
Dude,
what a fucking scam.
And like that's all I could think of all day long was like, as I was in the fast pass lane, I was like, look at all these people, like who are like, they just dropped. I don't know, like it's crazy. And okay, so
wait, so fast pass you paid $1,000 for, but the line for fast pass is so long. It's like, well, would you like to upgrade to express pass?
No.
Faster.
We paid for it. You have there's 2 lines. There's just like normal, common, like poor folk. Like you are a piece of shit peasant line.
Get in here, you poorie. Yeah,
and that's what
Welcome
we bought.
To Disney.
Yeah,
Mickey just spit on me. Get in line.
We bought the Poors tickets, which were still expensive. Okay. So this is like
also not cheap tickets. Yes.
Yeah. No. So basically everybody at Universal Studios is just rich as fuck. Okay.
Yeah. They're raking in cash, and people be like, oh, we're going to take our kids on a vacation and drop 10 G's for a fucking week.
I mean, the people who go there, like, cause like to get into the door, they have to drop
or they're in severe credit card debt because welcome to America, dude.
Exactly. Yes. It is now called the Chase Universal Studios.
Yeah.
So
you can just shake the hand of JP Morgan himself when you walk in.
No, the fast pass or whatever they call it there, it's called Lightning Lane in Disney, and like it's called the fast pass, I think, at Universal. Anyway, it was the only way to go because we would have had to wait in line for an hour and a half for a ride that only took us like 10, 15 minutes to get through, so that was awesome. Like, so we didn't have to wait a ton of time. So that the pass was as advertised, and it worked because
I would hope so at that price point. But yes, I'm glad that worked out.
But we took Ford on the first roller coaster we went on, which was one of the most violent roller coasters I've ever been on in my life. At least maybe I don't remember, and maybe because I'm 45 now. But it's called the Velasa Coaster, which is a Jurassic Park themed roller coaster.
Okay.
And so it's two and two. So you're sitting next to a person. So Megan and Ford were behind me, and this lady who's probably like in her 50s sits down next to me, and it's our first ride of the day. And she's like, hey, I was like, hey, yeah, I'm like, this will be awesome. She's like, I've been on this ride a ton of times. It's amazing. I'm like, oh, cool. This will be great. So this is one of those rides where like it takes off, and it doesn't do like the click, 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 and then drop. This is one of those ones that hits like the express like turbo boost, and then you're going from 0 to 70.
Yeah.
And so it goes from 0 to 70 straight up and then straight down, like almost like a vertical drop in a corkscrew.
Oh shit. Okay.
And I was like, holy shit. And like those scenes in the movie, and there's like several examples of this where like something crazy is happening in a car, and they look over at the passenger, and the passenger's like the devil and like laughing.
Yes.
You're like, oh my God. And like, I look over at this lady, she's like, this is great. Wait for the next part. And I'm like, Jesus, oh my God.
Wait for the next. She's communicating to you.
And I hear nothing behind me, by the way.
Oh no.
This ride's like over in like 90 seconds. And I was like, oh my God. And I look behind me, and she's like, Ford is not good.
Ford no.
So nothing, he didn't get sick. Nothing happened, but like he saw our Lord and Savior Jesus.
Yeah, he saw Jesus. Yeah. That thing shot up. He was like, "Oh my Lord!"
Like there's some pretty good rides at Disney that are like definitely like for adults, right? And he's been on those. And this ride though was like, I got off the ride going like, whoa, like that was intense. And
we just went Mach fucking 20. You're like, how are you doing? He's like, I'm pretty sure I'm in the afterlife.
I mean, like upside down, like more corkscrews. It was, and we were like, oh, and that was it for like the crazier roller coasters for him.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I think I'm fucking good. Thank you for breaking me.
And then the only other story I'm going to tell about that is Harry Potter World. So like,
yeah, how was that?
Pretty
Besides
awesome.
Giant ripoff. Oh, it's okay. That's good.
Pretty cool. Like, we're not crazy Harry Potter people, but like it made us want to watch the Harry Potter movies. It's really neat.
Yeah.
So like it was cool. They have a lot of roller coasters now, or rides, or like these 3D experiences, where like, you sit in the thing and it's not like a crazy ride, but like you're mostly looking at a screen.
Yeah.
And it kind of moves around like you're like a alternate universe or whatever, like reality sort of thing. Anyway, the Harry Potter ride, like out of nowhere, I don't know if it was because of the 3D or whatever, but like it like you kind of it starts off swooping and all this sort of stuff, and then it lays you back, and like I don't know if like all the shit that I had eaten was starting to like come up on me, but like
you're such a dad. I love
it's the 3D, and I'm like, whoa, this 3D is really making me feel a little sick. And like I kind of felt like my hands started to sweat, my feet started to sweat. And then I was like, and then we come out of the screen area and we go through this forest, which is all like animatronic. So I'm looking at like real trees moving around. Like, okay, thank God I'm not looking at a screen. So then we come out of the forest part, like, and all of a sudden we drop down into the Quidditch field. And we're flying on the brooms back to the 3D.
Sick. That's
and I was like, ah! And Megan and I both got off this ride, and we're like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up, and we didn't. The kids loved it. They're like, let's go again with the fast pass.
No, yeah, they're like fast pass.
And we were like, Megan and I look at each other. We're both like, $1,000. We got to do it. We got to do it.
I mean, you pay so much money, like you literally have to go on the.
So we like, okay, kids, let's go do it. So we go do it again, and we're like, we did it again. We're like, what are we doing? Like, I kept my eyes closed the whole time. It was crazy.
Shit. That's
so
hilarious.
We made it. My father-in-law and mother-in-law came. They went on like no rides. They went on the Harry Potter one, and they were like, we're done. And we had a good time. Overall, I won't go into more Disney stuff, but it was a great trip. We had a blast. Universal Studios, first and last in one, never going back. Hopefully y'all love it. I do not. Peace out. There you go. 3rd star. That's it.
My biggest gripe, I don't think I've ever shared this with you, so I've definitely never shared it on the pod. My biggest gripe with the Harry Potter stuff here is that I was in London. Oh my God, when was this? Forever ago. I don't know, like 10 years ago or so. And I brought the girl I was dating at the time, big Potterhead. And so, of course, we had to do like the Harry Potter experience in London. So I went and did that. Incredible experience.
Cool.
Like, insane. Because it's where they filmed the majority of the films. Like you see Hogwarts. You are like in Harry's room. Like you go to like you're in it, right? Like even the things like hanging around and like you open the door, like you literally get to walk through the Great Hall.
That's awesome.
And it's a fraction of the fucking cost of the shit that we have in Orlando, Florida, where it's all just made up shit that we make to get Potter fans to go and spend a ton of money on. So that's where my issue comes in. I'm like, you guys could fucking for way less money fly to London and then go to where they filmed it and then like literally walk the Great Hall for like a third of the cost that you're paying. But I get it, man, because kids also they don't have rides and shit there. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't ride a roller coaster there.
Right.
You drink like butter beer and like look at the bus. Like it's not an interactive experience. It's more of like a more nerdy for the kids type of a thing. But it bothers me how expensive they make it here. My whole point is it bothers me how much money they fucking charge people to do stuff like that.
I did not have a butterbeer because I was going to get one. I was going to get one. And then we got off the Harry Potter ride. I was like, I can't do it. No. I'm not going to do it. I did have plenty of drinks when we got back to the hotel later.
I would have laughed at you flying around the Quidditch field, like just 3 butterbeers deep. Like I'm going to yak this butterbeer everywhere.
If I had a butterbeer, I would have painted the Quidditch field.
Yeah.
I would have snitched everywhere. It was brutal. So anyway, I like your 2nd star. I did want to ask you about this. So fill me in. Where's your head at with your 2nd star?
I'll just say it really quick here. My 2nd star is the Seattle Seahawks. I
like it.
Jeff, you're the only person in the world that likes it. The one thing that I hate the most, and this is on all of Seahawks Twitter mostly, What I hate the most is the trade happens. Like, we get rid of Geno Smith for a 3rd-round pick. He goes to the Raiders. Pete Carroll is there, blah, blah, blah. And then we bring in Sam fucking Darnold. Like, the guy had one good year. It was last year. And then he flamed out towards the end of the season. Oh, and on top of that, I don't want to get too nerdy here, but Seattle sports fans are stat people. He is like bottom 5 in the league in terms of like release time. Like, the guy holds on to the ball for forever. And you know what Geno Smith was? Literally the opposite of that. Oh, and by the way, our interior offensive line pretty much does not exist. Like, Seattle is going to get lit the fuck up next season. Unless they plan on spending $80 million on bringing the 2 best guards that I didn't know were available. The Seahawks are fucked. I hate this move. I didn't think Geno Smith was like the guy of the future, but he was a serviceable guy until it was time to like draft a player and kind of learn under Geno and all of that. Well, that ship has sailed. Now I bring in Sam fucking Darnold, and the whole thing bothers me. And what really bothered me about the Seahawks fandom, the whole response was, well, could be worse. It's not Aaron Rodgers. Well, no fucking shit. It's not Aaron Rodgers. And here's a fun fact for you. Aaron Rodgers is never coming to Seattle. It was not going to happen, period. Yes, I saw the stuff that got leaked out about Seattle like wanting to have a conversation with that. But a guy who's in his 40s with no knees on a team with no offensive line makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Like, he was never going to come there. John Snyder, GM of the Seahawks, was just doing what GMs do, which is having conversations with people. So, and maybe this was a smart move on the Seahawks side by being like, listen, this Sam Darnold signing is going to suck. We should leak out the Aaron Rodgers stuff. That way, when we sign Sam, everyone's like, whew, thank God it's not Aaron Rodgers, right? It's like, no, this move fucking sucks. Just look at it for what it is. The move sucks. I'm not happy about it, man. I think it's going to blow up in their faces. And I'm telling you right now, next season is going to be really shitty to watch. That guy, like, if I could bet, like, quarterbacks in the league getting sacked the most or like under pressure the most, I would put I would take out a second mortgage on my house and hammer the Sam Darnold over on all of those.
Nah, that's still going to belong to Joe Burrow and the Bengals. But you're probably second place. Also, I'm gonna put a bet that the Seahawks go 3-0 to start the season. I know the schedule's not out yet, but like some crazy stuff. I'm telling you, something in the air. Something's gonna happen like this. The Seahawks,
they don't even have home field advantage anymore. Like, we've lost Lumen Field home advantage. Like, it's just. Yeah, I get why they're doing it. Like, again, I'm a rational person. It's like, Geno's going to want 45 to 50 million. You don't want to pay that. Like, I get all the reasons why. But at the end of the day, one guy is better than the other at football. And one guy also throws the football a lot faster. Geno Smith did a lot of things to help mitigate the issues on the offensive line for the Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold will do the opposite. They are going to be so obvious what the issues are, and teams are going to hammer that as they should. Anyways, anyway.
So I lied. My second star is another roller coaster. Really quickly.
God damn it.
This is a good one.
How many roller coasters did you have to ride for various people to get sick on before you're like, one more?
No, that was it.
We got the fast pass. One more.
We went to Disney and we went on all the coasters. Totally fine. Everything was awesome. Loved it.
Good.
Animal Kingdom, new favorite roller coaster of all time, Expedition Everest. This is a Yeti themed, Mount Everest themed roller coaster. It's so fun. And here's what was awesome is it was kind of rainy on Wednesday when we went.
Perfect time to go 8 million feet up in the air at 100 miles an hour.
Animal Kingdom is basically, because have you been there? You've never been there, have you?
No, never been.
Animal Kingdom is one of the kingdoms of Disney. There's 4 of them, and it's like a zoo. Okay, it's basically a zoo, but there's rides built into it. There's an Avatar section, so it's kind of like you're walking through the forest. It's not like the other theme parks where it's just like a wide open cement, theme park.
I've seen the Avatar stuff because they had like a real avatar thing, and it broke and malfunctioned, and they replaced it with the screen, and it went viral on TikTok.
Yeah, the screen one is actually a really good ride.
Yeah, but the other one that they had to replace was like $50 million animatronic, super realistic, and then it glitched out. And apparently Disney is still like hush about it, because they're gonna keep things tight, right? It's Disney. They were like shutting people down from posting videos of the malfunction. They're like, you cannot share that.
I didn't know that.
Dude. Yeah. Anyways,
Expedition Everest, though, here's what was cool about it is we got there first thing in the morning, went to that ride, and we had the fast passes. Well, once you use your fast pass, like that's it. You can't use it again on that ride for the day. Well, we get there, and the normal line was like a 10-minute wait. We're like, what the hell's going on? This is awesome. So I said, let's get on the normal line. So we'd go in the normal line. We were on in 10 minutes. The whole family had a blast. It's a fun ride. And then we're like, we get off the ride, and we're like, let's use our fast pass, go right back on. So we get right back on, and we go on again. We're like on it again in like 20 minutes. We ride 2 roller coaster rides in like 30 minutes. It was awesome.
That does not happen ever.
No, and then so like my in-laws didn't go, so they had their two little bands, their fast passes that were unused. So Ford and I were like, let's go do it again. So we go back.
Let's go.
We go do it again, and we waited for the first car, the very first front row seat. We get on the front row seat. We have the time of our life. He's screaming. One of our favorite viral videos of all time was because you go backwards. You come to this broken track that the Yeti has ripped apart, and then you stop, and then you the whole ride is basically backwards.
Oh, okay, got it.
Right. So you're going in the dark, like almost like upside down, but backwards. It's so fun. But like Ford's, we've been on the ride, so we know what's going on. So Ford's like, put it in reverse, Terry. And do you know that?
No.
Put it in reverse, Terry is one of the best viral videos of all time. I'll just say that out there. That's actually, that's going to be the code word. That's the code word for this week's episode. If you made it this far, please tweet me.
You need to stop with this. You already owe people. I don't know why you keep doing this, dude.
I'm gonna do it. Put it in reverse, Terry. Just tweet
Jesus
that.
Christ.
Okay? Tweet that.
Right.
Anyway, and so then again,
tweet the video with it so I can see what the fuck Jeff's talking
later
about.
In the day, and then later we went on it again. So we went on it again because the wait was short. It was an awesome day at Animal Kingdom. We went on that ride 4 times. New favorite roller coaster, Expedition Everest. Love it. That's my 2nd star.
Damn, that's a whole lot of Disney stuff. All right, my first star of the week is that, I'm going to skip the first part and just go on with the second part of it. I officially I invested in my first camera. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah.
My upcoming trip was obviously a massive inspiration for it, but I've never owned like a proper camera in my life, and I finally was like, you know what? I've been researching this shit for forever. I'm just going to go ahead and pull the trigger on it, and I'm very excited. And there were some accessory things I wanted to come with it, like a thumb grip and a couple little things like that. Those will actually be here tomorrow, along with my SD card, because I realized I don't even have one of those, which is sad. But I bought the Fujifilm, the X100 Mark VI, and I could not be more fucking excited. I just wanted something that I can have on me every single day. And something that I just genuinely have fun with, that shoots beautiful photo and video. And I also wanted something that the photos look so good that for the most part, I do not have to edit. And this camera gives me all of that. And I'm so fucking pumped to really start messing with it. I contemplated on buying it when I got to Japan, because odds are I could probably get it there cheaper. Fujis are made in Japan, blah, blah, blah. Knowing myself, I quickly took that off the table, because as someone that's never owned a camera before, if I were to invest in this new toy, piece of equipment, whatever, and I'm on vacation, there would be a period of at least 72 hours where I am maximum stressed out because all I'm trying to do is fucking figure out how this thing works. And it would take away from just being in the moment, enjoying my fucking vacation. And that's the whole point of me being on vacation, is to enjoy myself. So I removed that from the equation very quickly and just bought it now. And I have about like 2 weeks to play around with it before I hit the road, which is plenty of time. So
look at you being smart about that. And so far, so you
awareness, it worked out.
Am I going to see any of this Fujifilm camera work on your social media accounts?
Yeah, absolutely. I already bought the little connector because you can connect it directly to your iPhone. So I could snap, shoot, do whatever, look at it, and then immediately just click, plug it into the iPhone, download directly to my phone, and just upload from there. So it's all super easy, and all of that was very intentional. I wanted something that, again, it was compact and light. I can always have on me, and easy to upload and all that shit. So mission accomplished, and yeah, that's my first star.
That's awesome, dude. I can't wait for that trip, and I can't wait to see you crush it with content now with advanced technology. So you're already good at it.
This stuff
I'm ready to
looks
see
so
this
good.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
You're not coming home. I just know that you're not going to come home.
I would love to not come home. Just an expat, just fucking hanging out, just getting drunk in Shinjuku all the time. It's like, all right, Joe's gone. Yeah,
that's awesome. My first star of the week, simple. Driveway hockey is still strong. We bought more sticks. We've got multiple kids in our driveway every day playing hockey.
Wow.
And it's just since the Four Nations face off, we're watching some hockey games. We're talking about a little bit of hockey. It's just a thing the kids are having fun with. And I shouldn't say this out loud, but no major injuries. So hockey's a thing in this house. So like I'm really kind of enjoying hockey now again. The pressure's off. We know the Kraken are, trying to build something.
It's nice to not care and just enjoy the games.
Exactly. So I feel good. So the state of hockey for me is fantastic. Driveway hockey is the first star. And then that's pretty much it. So I'm excited to see this new kid tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that against the Canadiens.
Yep.
And I want to see more of that happen. And I want to see who's going to be the leader of this team come next year. I think the Kraken, Ron Francis did say, and he was getting kind of made fun of it. And we should have talked about this earlier, but Ron Francis did say that he did not consider
quote.
Well, no, he didn't call this a rebuild. He still said that he expects to have success sooner than later in Seattle. So, people were like, come on, we got a long way to go here. So, I don't know what he's planning. I don't know if he's just trying to make himself look good and save his job. And he's not going anywhere for a while. But, is he really just like over promising and under delivering, or is he cooking something up? I've got to be positive, because if I'm not going to be positive, then I might as well just lay in the dirt and go to sleep forever. So I'm going to be positive and be like, I think that there's something that could happen. So let's see what happens.
Can I quickly say, I think both things can be true. I don't think this is like an absolutist scenario here. My immediate thought, because I didn't hear that he said that. My immediate thought on it was, well, of course he said that. He's the general manager of the team. He wants this fan base bought in. What do you want him to do? Go to the media and be like, hey, how do you feel about the rebuild? He's like, let me tell you guys, we're at least 5 years out. We're so fucked. Like, what would you have him say? Part of his job as general manager is a salesman. He needs the fan base on board, whether or not he is being sincere about how close he believes this team to be to a contender. So I think both things can be true. Of course he said that. Why would you not say that? It is what it is.
I like it. Good way to end the episode. I think that's, again, totally proper episode for season 4 of the Seattle Kraken and a Seattle Kraken podcast. So have an awesome week. You take care of yourself. Remember, put it in reverse, Terry. Okay. And we're going to leave you, the Kraken Pod, with the Kraken Pod Chirp of the Week.